Today's sitting is in respect of performance audits that the Auditor General conducted over a period of time from 2019 to 2024. And in that period, I was part of government. And so to promote transparency and proper accountability, I'll hand over this morning's proceedings to the ranking member, Honorable Samuel Atta-Mills. And I know he will do a good job. Honorable, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam. We, the members of the group committee, may we introduce ourselves, please?
My name is Suleimana Yusuf. I'm the Member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy, and I'm a friend to this committee. They've just accepted me, so I'm a friend. Thank you. Somebody is saying your mama's MP. I mean, that's a privilege. I'm the only person that the president goes to vote for. Yes. Thank you.
Good morning, and my name is Kofi Adams, MP for Buim in the Oti region, and a friend of the committee.
Good morning. My name is
Good morning. My name is Honorable Grace Ayensu Dankwa. I am the MP for Esikado Ketan constituency and also the Deputy Minister of Health. Thank you. And I'm here with my team to answer questions. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Nano Seji, Member of Parliament for the good people of New Jabe North and a member of the committee.
Good morning. My name is Honorable Geoffrey Kinney, MP for Nkwanta South and a member of the committee. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Frank Yabua, MP for Achoma Mwabieja North in the Ashanti region, a member of the committee.
Hello, good morning. My name is Akwesi Kunedu. I represent the people of Maisha North constituency and a member of the committee.
Good morning. My name is Samuel Atta-Mills, MP for Commander Edina Eguafo Abrem. I'm the ranking member of the committee, but chairing today.
Good morning. I'm David Sansa Opoku, MP for Empriso constituency in the Greater Kwewu area. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee.
My name is Abna Osayasari, Member of Parliament for Itiwa East and the Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee. Thank you.
Auditors, please.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. My name is Michael Addo, Assistant Auditor General, Audit Service.
Good morning. My name is David Doe Amidiku, Director of Audit from the Performance and Special Audit Department, Audit Service.
Good morning. My name is Roberta Intim, a Director of Audit, and then also from the Performance Audit Department, Ghana Audit Service.
Thank you very much. At this stage, may we call Honorable Minister for Sports and your team, please.
Yes, please. Minister, please, yours can be on. Madam. I
Kofi Adams,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue
touching the matter in issue
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Honorable Minister, may you introduce yourself and allow your other members to introduce themselves.
Thank you very much. My name is Kofi Adams, the Minister for Sports and Recreation, and a proud former member of this committee, and a newly accepted friend of the committee. Thank you.
Honorable, my name is Ohelmina Samwa, Chief Director for the Ministry of Sports and Recreation.
Good morning. My name is Yaon Bufo Ankra, Acting Director General, National Sports Authority.
Good morning. My name is Issa Mahmi, Director, Policy Planning, Budget, Monitoring and Evaluation.
Alaji Abukar Mohamed Mahmoud is my name, Chief Accountant, National Sports Authority.
Good morning. My name is Abdul Karim Tosa, Director, Internal Audit, Sports and Recreation Ministry.
Good morning. My name is Yao Jemfiku Siare, CEO, National Sports Authority.
Good morning. My name is Jejom Sipite Nadeche, Deputy Head of Accounts, National Sports Authority.
All right, Honorable Minister, we are going through the performance audit of Minister of Sports. There's a follow-up report on the sustainability of sports stadia in Ghana. We'll start with the oversight responsibilities for the ministry, and Honorable OPK will start.
Thank you very much, Minister, and welcome to your team. So the report that we are considering today has to do with or outlines the core governance and management failures at the Ministry of Sports and the National Sports Authority. And we are looking at the sustainability of Ghana's major stadia, i.e. Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, and Sekondi Takoradi. The 2019 report or performance audit sought to establish whether or not if the ministry and the National Sports Authority had implemented effective oversight, maintenance, and revenue generation measures to ensure physical, and when we say physical, we mean the infrastructure longevity and the financial self-sustaining operations viability. The key issues that were raised in the report is that the Ministry of Sports has failed to formulate policies, plans, and strategies for stadium operations and maintenance. And this vacuum, Minister, makes it impossible for the National Sports Authority to be held accountable for facility conditions or for their financial performance. Can you tell us, this committee, from 2019 to the time that the audit was done, what have you done as a ministry and also as a National Sports Authority in implementing or putting in place measures to ensure that we have the right policies, plans, and strategies for stadium maintenance and operations? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Chairman. Admittedly, the audit findings were right. No proper documented policies were in place. But following that report, the ministry have taken steps not to secure the maintenance plan from the contractors, because these stadia, as you rightly know, were constructed many years ago. It's only some intermittent renovations that is being done. But through the best practices across the world, we were able to gather, document, and develop a maintenance manual, which the ministry and the NSA is applying to now. You would observe, Mr. Chairman, that recently, I think few days ago, even a church program was held at the Accra Sports Stadium. And one concern of Ghanaians is about even the pitch, the playing space, and you observe that was not touched. This is also because of the system that the ministry have put in place and the NSA is applying to later. Thank you.
So are you telling this committee and Ghanaians that the ministry now has a policy manual or a maintenance manual for that matter at the National Sports Authority? Is that the case?
That is the case, but we did not get it from the contractors. The recommendation was for us to get it from the contractors. That is not available. So what we did was to look at best practices around the world and to be able to develop one that fits our situation, which we are applying to now.
And can you also confirm that the various pitches in Takrady, in Cape Coast, in Tamale, in Kumasi, and also in Accra, can today be said to be in the best of conditions for any international football match, for that matter?
Mr. Chairman, no.
Then a certain culture has not been developed, because the aim of the audit was to ensure, one, that there's a maintenance culture that has been put in place, and two, the financial sustainability of the National Sports Authority. And so if today, Minister, you are telling this committee that you do not have these stadiums readily available to host international matches, then it means that the culture has not been developed, and that is problematic.
I said the plan is in place. The plan is there, but implementation comes with some other situations. Renovation works is ongoing in some of the stadia you mentioned. So until the renovation works is over, we cannot kick in the maintenance plan. In the case of the Accra Sports Stadium, you would observe that we have played all our international matches there without any problem, because that one is ready, is available at all times, we can use. We can't say same for the Babayara Sports Stadium, because work is still what? Ongoing. You can't say same for Esipon, because work is still ongoing. In the case of the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium in Tamale, work is yet to start. And once it's completed also, we will kick in the maintenance manual that we have developed to maintain it so it doesn't go into the state it went into.
It's your national sports policy now in place. Do you have a national sports policy? Do the state have a national sports policy?
Yes, there is a policy that I will still describe as draft. It's not completed. We are finalizing the confirmation process. It is our hope that the next 2 meetings should be able to finalize this document so it can be utilized by the NSA.
Thank you, Minister. I'll urge you to expedite action on this, because the last time the auditors were on this case, the information we had was that the national sports policy existed in draft form, and it's the same that you have said on this forum. We hope and pray that next year, if we are to meet here on this committee, we would have a national sports policy well formulated and everybody abiding by it. With this said, Auditors, are you able to tell us if you have cited some policy documents from the ministry or from the National Sports Authority that is developing some maintenance culture and also that is ensuring some financial sustainability for the Sports Authority?
Honorable Chair, as indicated earlier by the Minister, it's still in draft, and that is what we have seen.
All right.
Honorable Member, what we are considering over here is a performance audit of the ministry from 2019 to 2024. So things may be different in 2025, but we are going over the report from 2019 to 2024. The next one is Honorable Akwesi Kunedu about the maintenance of the stadium.
Chairman, thank you very much. Minister, welcome. Probably
Thank you.
You've answered a portion of the question that I would want to do, but I just want us to have a clear understanding. Once this policy is formalized and finalized, and looking at the current condition of utilization of our sports stadiums that we have, i.e. for sporting activities, hiring for events, and the rest, it would require a certain financial outlay to be able to maintain these sports stadiums for sustainability and also to make sure that they don't deteriorate. Are these rental fees, first and foremost, and also what the National Sports Authority gets from our football activities, looking at the current attendance rate at our stadiums for league matches and the rest, are those amounts that you receive sustainable enough for you to maintain these facilities, looking at the plan that you have? And if I may add, so that, and if it is not, how do you intend financing the policy that you have?
Well, thank you very much. Currently, it's not. So, from time to time, the ministry also comes in with its goods and services allocation to support the maintenance work. But what we are looking to do is to also rein in some other revenue sources. There's some areas that we haven't looked at as the Sports Ministry or the National Sports Authority. If you look at the Act and the regulation, fitness centers are supposed to be certified by the National Sports Authority. Indeed, the attendants there are actually described as sports persons who must be licensed by the National Sports Authority to function. Pools, swimming pools and what have you, especially the commercial ones, are supposed to be certified by the National Sports Authority if you look at the Act. So these are new revenue lines that would also be coming to the National Sports Authority to support some other works that they otherwise would be depending only on gate proceeds and maybe rental fees that they get. So we hope to improve upon our revenue mobilization when we add all these other sources. So the new Fees and Charges Act that will come before this Parliament for approval will have some of these things in it.
I believe probably that may suffice, but looking at now that we are going to implement it and the number of acceptance that people are going to have for it and the amount, I don't know how much we are putting the fees and charges to, but and looking at the numbers of these things that we have, we probably would wait and see. But I believe that once we have the plan, whatever it takes, because once we don't have proper stadiums, it becomes impossible for us even participating in some African Union tournaments and the rest. We are always up, down, coming to check our stadiums and the rest. But other countries do have that. But we'll back you on all fronts as to how you raise revenue to make sure that these stadiums and recreational centers are well maintained for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Minister, this is an existing revenue line in your Act, and you haven't been collecting it as you are supposed to collect. But so if you say these are new revenue lines for you, how are you going to make sure this time you collect them, because it's been in your acts for a while? So how are you going to, what measures are you putting in place to make sure that this time you collect what is due you?
Thank you very much. Education is one step. So we have decided that this month, November and December, the National Sports Authority, together with the ministry, will embark on some massive education. We're going to do this in conjunction with the Ghana Tourism Authority. We are not going to do it alone because they already manage and supervise these bodies that we are going into. So we're going to do it with them. So for every platform that they have, we would also be there to let them know that there's a component that must go to the National Sports Authority. So once we do this and the education is clear, I believe that we'll be able to now collect what has been in the act that we have not been collecting.
I'm happy you are going to embark on education first, because this is my first time of hearing that even the fitness centers are supposed to pay monies to the Sports Authority. So a lot of people don't know. Once you embark on that, I believe people will do the needful, because they don't know, they are not paying. But once you bring it to their attention and knowledge, they will pay. So well done, and I hope that come next year, when we look at your IGF, a chunk of it will come from these lines. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The next one is on revenue generation, and Honorable Hotoje will ask questions on.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Minister, you are welcome.
Thank you.
One of the key issues raised in the follow-up report has to do with revenue generation and control mechanisms. The auditors have realized that the National Sports Authority had not ensured that the commercial facilities at the 5 stadia were being used to generate revenue to ensure the physical and financial sustainability of the stadia. Can you speak to that issue?
To a large extent, we received these findings, we've looked at it, and what we do know, steps taken. One, the fixed asset coordinating unit of the National Sports Authority have been deployed to effectively assess these assets and to consider their true value, and also to look at potential programs and activities that can be done, and also not necessarily to wait for people to come and rent, whether even as National Sports Authority itself, we can drive activity and programs towards our facilities. So it will result in increase in what? Revenue. So we're looking at many options to be able to drive revenue and ramp it up a bit so we can do what is expected of us.
Mr. Minister, this is something they have pointed out. Does it mean that is what you are doing now? And what prevented other officials from doing that in the past? Because if you know the cause of a sickness, you prescribe the appropriate medication. What prevented the officials who have been there from carrying out all these things so that we do not lose revenue, but rather you are now putting it in place?
Mr. Chairman, what prevented them from doing it will be difficult for me to tell. What I can say is that we are working very hard to do what must be done, to do the needful so as to keep our facilities up to standard. we do not want it to get to the point where the auditors found what they found. So we're working very well. And we will request support from this committee and the House also, generally, because in doing all these, we will need the necessary support from Parliament and other sectors. And I do believe that you come in handy to help us. Thank you.
Taking the necessary steps to generate the revenue is one issue. But putting in place the control mechanisms, in your statement, you only spoke about ways of generating the revenue. Have you thought of putting in place mechanisms that will make sure that the revenue so generated is protected and used for what it is meant to use for?
So there are a number of steps that we are also introducing. And when we improve networking, which we haven't completely done yet, ticketing to our stadia facility during games time will no longer be 100% manual, where somebody can go and before you realize some people are printing something else and selling that one other than the real ticket. So you see the numbers at the stadium, but then when it comes to accounting for the money, less is presented. So we want to do some e-ticketing that brings about a lot more transparency. Aside that, when the money gets into the coffers, its use must follow through the standard accounting procedures and the financial regulations act that exist in this country. So you can't just take and spend anyhow. So where the threshold is way above, for example, the National Sports Authority, the ministry will have to come in and give the necessary approval. Very soon also, we will inaugurate the board for the National Sports Authority, and they would also perform their appropriate duty. We will see to it that they perform what they are supposed to do and to engender and improve the transparency and accountability processes, which the honorable member is so concerned about.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. At least you've made my day. Mr. Chairman.
All right, Honorable Akwesi Kwenedu has a question.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, on a point of follow-up on my colleagues on, and it's all about financial sustainability. I think the auditors, in one of their findings about financial sustainability of your firm and hiring of these event centers or the PACs for events, found out that you do not have a register for patrons or guests who hire these places for purposes for which they use it for and for the amount they use for, such that if there are any defects that are attributable to the events that they had, you can trace it back to them, and also for auditing purposes, because you will not be at all the stadiums. But once you have such a document, it would help you to review all the things that may have happened in them. They said you do not have that. Currently, what is the status? Do we now have such a register to contain this information to facilitate your plans?
Thank you very much, Chairman. That is the case. Now we have. Not only do we have it entered manually, but it's also digitized. It's digitized. So after every event, there are follow-ups to go and even check and make sure a report is done. And then you get cleared before you can go. So that is in place. Seriously, that is in place.
All right. We have other oversight responsibilities. Honorable Abena Osei-Asare will continue with it.
Honorable Minister, the auditors said 15 recommendations were given, 1 to the Sports Ministry and then 14 others to the National Sports Authority. And this is to ensure fiscal and financial sustainability. We have gone through quite a number of them. And so my colleagues and I will go through the recommendations one after the other, and then you tell us. But I think when it comes to the implementation of the national sports policy, you mentioned the fact that it's still in the draft stage, and you work on it to make sure it happens. I just want to ask you, can you give us a time frame? Because it's been like this for a while. So that if you can give us a time frame as to when the draft will become an actual policy, it will help us and also help the auditors to take this off the recommendations that they gave.
Thank you very much. Actually, the only reason that the policy is still in the draft, the final stage of it being a draft, is because of the realignment that we've had at the ministry. Now, recreation has been given a very high consideration. So we needed to factor that also into the policy. Previously, that was not so highlighted. The president also gave indication that he wants us to establish a school sports agency that will be responsible for school sports. So it will no longer be something the Ghana Education Service alone will be doing, where if they don't have time, it goes off. If they don't have money, it goes off. So an agency of a sort would have to be put in place that will be responsible for school sports and grassroots sports. We needed to factor all these into the draft policy as it existed. So I can assure you that before our next meeting, hopefully if they haven't done the audit already and waiting to submit another report, maybe after the one that they will be submitting, you will not see this situation occurring anymore.
You, Minister, you know the audit line, so give me a date. Minister, you know the auditors are bound by time. By March of next year, they have to start looking at the accounts, and then by June, end of June 2026, they are supposed to submit their reports to Parliament. So based on these timelines, when do you think you can give us the policy?
Well, we're sure that before the end of first quarter next year, the policy should be ready as a full policy and not in the draft state anymore.
Thank you very much. So please let's take note. The first quarter, end of the first quarter of 2026. Thank you very much, Minister. And I know that because you were a member of this committee, you will stand by your word and deliver as well. Thank you.
He will, because he's taking us to World Cup. The next one is on NSA board should revise the existing corporate plan or develop a new one to provide NSA with a strategic direction. And the auditors are saying that they found that NSA had developed a medium-term development plan for 2022 to 2025, which aimed at providing strategic direction for the authority. What says you, sir?
So, Mr. Chairman, like I said earlier, some more work has been done, but the board is yet to be inaugurated. We're going through the processes. As you know, you have to submit the names. There it goes to the Council of State. They will look at it, and then the responses will come. Then you now inaugurate them. We are yet to inaugurate the board, the governing board for the National Sports Authority. And I believe immediately we inaugurate them, one of the first responsibilities, Chairman, will be to conclude on this subject to further extend this plan. So we will take it seriously.
Now, let's look to another recommendation that they gave.
Right. Minister, and still on the failure of the NSA to draw up annual plans from the corporate plan and put in place mechanism for implementation. The audit team still finds that your headquarters, the NSA headquarters, and the regional offices that they visited do not have, they have annual plans for implementation of maintenance and revenue generation activities. But the NSA has not prioritized drawing up annual plans. They do not have the annual plans. And there's no priority, there's no urgency, nobody really cares about annual plan at the National Sports Authority. What is it that has changed?
I would have left this for the Director General, but what I know as a sector minister is that this is something that they have taken seriously, to the extent that they have even recommended for an appointment of an office, Chief Operation Officer, so to help in the execution of some of these situations. So like I said, once the board is put in place and the approval is given to these recommendations for various offices and structures that is being created, then we will go ahead to have full implementation. So there are really serious plans in place to deal with some of these findings.
Thank you, Chairman.
All right, the next responsibility will be handled by Honorable Adam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity. Honorable Minister, per the recommendations of the auditors, by September 2025, which elapsed about 2 months ago maybe, the Ministry of Youth and Sports was asked to finalize and approve the draft National Sports Policy for the National Sports Authority Board and management to implement. You already mentioned that the committee should give you up to the end of first quarter 2026 to finalize it. But when the recommendation was made, as a ministry, what assurance can you give the committee and the people of Ghana that indeed you have been unable to meet this particular timeline as set in the recommendation, but the new one that you have promised the committee, you will be able to meet it?
Well, so I just indicated clearly that there are things that must be done to make the policy useful. Once there's a certain introduction of other sectors within the sport, we can present it as it was without factoring those ones. So once it hasn't been concluded, let's add that and make sure that we have a whole document that will deal with every aspect. So the school sports and the grassroots sports component is going to be added, and by the end of the first quarter, we'll have the policy in place.
All right, Minister. Some of the maintenance of the stadium, NSA should request for the operations and maintenance manuals from the contractors who constructed the stadium. You have any questions, any answers on that one?
Chairman, like I said, there were a number of the contractors. Some of these stadia facilities were constructed many years ago. Some levels of renovations have been done. The most recent, you have Micheletti, Consa, who have done some work or the other. So the parts that they get involved in, Mr. Chairman, they always give us a manual. But you cannot have the entire manual for the stadium as it was from freshly constructed for most of these facilities. So what we have done is to develop a standard one for all of these facilities that we have based on the best practices which we are using.
Okay, now there's one over here that says NSA should refund amount of 183,494 used for the National Sports Festival to management of Baba Yaya Sports Stadium to enable it replace the broken seats.
Mr. Chairman, this one I will let the accountant respond. But what I can say is that it's been cleared by the auditors subsequently. And so, but let the internal auditor speak to it, and then the external auditors may confirm or deny. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, there was an event at Kumasi, and the proceeds was paid into the NSA headquarters account. So the auditors were recommending that the proceeds should be given to NSA, the Kumasi branch, so that they can. So what was done is the fact that the proceed was utilized to maintain. The recommendations are that the proceeds should be given to Kumasi to maintain the covers, and that has been done. And the auditors can confirm that.
Auditors, could you confirm, please?
Yes, Honorable Chair, the initial recommendation was for them to refund, but we realized upon follow-up that they have used the same amount to do the replacement of the seats and the necessary maintenance at the stadium. So we accepted that position. And as far as we are concerned, the issue is resolved. Thank you.
Okay, the next one will be by Honorable Kinney. And that will be VII.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
Congratulations for making Ghana proud and making us qualify for the World Cup. OT is indeed proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was recommended by the Auditor General that you should allocate a percentage of the revenue guaranteed from each activity for the maintenance of the stadia and ensure that organizers of the programs are held responsible for damages caused at the stadia. And it's been done. Congratulations for that once again.
Okay, go with your question.
Minister, as my colleague said, you've done it. But I'm seeing 20,000 security, refundable security. Is it so, okay, is the amount okay, or you are thinking of increasing it from 20 to a different amount? Is it okay?
I didn't get your...
The question is, follow up on my colleague's listing. The auditor says you should allocate a percentage, which you've done. And also you take a refundable security of 20,000 from the event planners or those who come to use the stadium. My question is the 20,000 security refund, is it okay? Is it sufficient now? Is it serving the purpose? Or you are thinking of increasing it to a different amount?
If you analyze the situation, especially our Category A facilities, it's on the low side. And so we're still having a conversation, and we will see what can be done to up this amount, because it's really on the low side if you look at our Category A facilities.
All right. The next member to ask questions, Honorable Ahenkwa, and it's on number 14.
Thank you, Chairman. The auditors noted that the Accra and Kumasi Sports Stadium had all electrical installation protected. with plastic trankings to avoid corrosion and exposure to electric shocks. The Tamale and Takoradi Sports Stadia were undergoing major renovation. However, there was no information on the scope of works to indicate that the electrical works would be catered for. The recommendation: the National Sports Authority should request for operation and maintenance manuals from the contractors who constructed the stadia and put together a team of experts to evaluate. Okay, so how far with the electrical installations?
Thank you very much. So, like you rightly said, Accra and Kumasi, the Babayara Stadium is okay. The problem was to do with Esipon, the Takoradi Stadium at Esipon, and also the Aliu Mahama Stadium in Tamale. Okay. In the case of the Takoradi Sports Stadium at Esipon, works is still ongoing. And if you look at the works that is supposed to be done, it includes covering all the electricals and everything. So that would also be done by the time the work that is ongoing is completed. The Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium work is yet to start. So that is still having in its the state that it was, with some very minimal adjustments done. We do hope that with some funding support, we will move to Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium to start some work also. As colleague members of parliament, you may be aware that this year, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation had no capex to do any infrastructure work. So we could not award any contract to do anything yet. It's just the ongoing ones. But the 2026 budget that is yet to be presented, if you approve, there will surely be something in it for the Sports and Recreation Ministry to also engage in some capex work. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. The next member is Nancy AJ to ask a question on number 15.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Minister. This is on revenue generation and control mechanism. It says that all the NSA should collaborate with management of the stadia to conduct market survey with a view to develop price list and revenue targets for each stadium for implementation. It's been realized that you have done the collaboration, but what is lacking now is the developing revenue targets. So when you go to the status of implementation, it says partially implemented. Yes, may we know why it's still partially implemented? Thank you.
So thank you for this question. Like I indicated earlier, the FASU unit of the National Sports Authority have done some great work. We've also looked at the various potentials of various facilities, and also when the fees and charges act that will be the new one that will be passed, would also see some upgrade of what in terms of the amounts. The challenge, the genuine challenge, however, is that it's difficult to isolate each facility and say, for this one, they will charge this, and maybe Cape Coast will charge this, Babayara will charge this, and Aliu Mahama will charge that. We are not able to isolate individual facilities. And so what we have is general fees, like maybe...
Minister, respectfully, why are you not able to give cost to the various stadiums? Because they offer different facilities. So it shouldn't be that difficult.
So, Honorable Chair, if you look at what we inherited, there was a fixed fee for stadia facility. So whether it is Accra or there's a certain range within which you will take. That's why I'm saying it's so difficult now. But we are working it out to see how we can do it, because even some of the community facilities are under the National Sports Authority. Like some of these astroturfs are even under the National Sports Authority, and we must give fees that will be charged even as low as that level. So we are working out something to be able to get specific charges for specific facility and not what it is that we inherited. That's why we said it's partially implemented, because we haven't fully done so.
Okay, the next one is on 16, and Honorable Enim Ennis will take care of that one.
Thank you, Chairman. Minister, the auditors recommended that NSA should put in place mechanisms to assess the financial performance of the stadia periodically to ensure that revenue targets are met. What is the status of implementation at this point?
I will let the Director General speak to this one, because there's some work ongoing. They haven't submitted the current report to me yet, and unfortunately, I didn't have a conversation with them before this. So I will let him, since he's here himself, to speak to that quickly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Currently, the NSA is putting through a number of new measures, and these are based, as the Minister earlier said, on best international practices. And so when that document is concluded, it will be submitted to the Honorable Minister, and this will be the implementation of all the stadia across Ghana. So currently, we're in that process of putting together the precise document to ensure that these new patterns that we found in attendance, in events at venues and others, we'll be able to put together something that is accurate and then present it to the Honorable Minister.
Okay, Minister Oyao, I just want to know, would you be able to give the committee some timelines within which this report we are referring to would be submitted to the Minister?
Yes, we're still engaging with the Honorable Minister, because we found there's a new pattern of fans where if it's the Black Stars, you have a different, demography when it's the Ghana Premier League, when it's women's football, when it's domestic non-football events. So we're trying to put all this together, which will give us a fairer idea of exactly what to do in order to maintain it, upgrade, and also encourage more people to attend, and then that would help in also maintaining our facilities.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. But then one thing I've also noticed is that a lot more times activities such as religious activities and these entertainment activities do take place at these stadia. And when you see the numbers compared to even the numbers that attend to football games, you can see that we can generate more on the religious and entertainment side. So we should take all these into consideration in coming up with these mechanisms for setting up all these standard rates. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, the next one is on number 17. It says NSA should find alternative uses for the shops and enter into a formal tenancy agreement with all tenants.
So that has been done generally, and we issued directive that especially some have taken these shops and are using them for other purposes far away from sports-related activities. Some actually turn them into warehouses, warehousing, or yes, all kinds of things. And that is being corrected now. And for expired tenancy agreements, new ones have been done.
All right, Honorable Hotager, you have 18.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the auditors have recommended that the National Sports Authority should use the available advertising spaces to advertise the commercial facilities at the stadium and rent out the remaining space. How far have you gone with that?
So I'm very much aware that the NSA have had engagement with some of these advertising companies. I must say that this is not something that we have completed, done to its completion, but it's still an ongoing work. You would observe that if you drive around the Accra Sports Stadium, you see multi-choice advertised on the, yes, they've had some standing arrangement which has expired, and so there is a conversation also going on with them, and we will utilize the spaces that we have very well and to generate revenue for the state, and especially also for NSA and its activities.
Yeah, I understand that it is a process, not an event. Looking at the pace at which it is being done now, will you be in the position to give a timeline within which it will finish, or it will come to conclusion?
Mr. Chairman, considering that it is money, I would have wished we had concluded yesterday. But you know that these things you have to negotiate. You would, because these are also partners that you have worked with. They also do certain things for you. You utilize their platforms also to promote and project your sporting activities. And so we are in a conversation. I can assure you that we will do what must be done, and within a time that will give us also advantage.
Honorable Member, this report, there's an observation from 2019 to 2024. And you want the minister to have completed all these in 2025. He's thinking about Black Stars. All right, Madam, go ahead.
Ignore ranking, eh? Don't mind ranking. No, Minister, it's just that he expects more from you, that's all. And so you should allow and understand, because he knows you can do it. And that's why he's expecting more from you. So see it in that light, yes.
Thank you.
Minister, the auditors also said that as part of their recommendations, you should have a guest or a patron register. I believe it will help you raise more revenue, because once you have them and there are matches, there are events going on, you can reach out to them and they can also patronize these things. So one, I want to find out if you have that register, and whether per their recommendations. Also want to find out the period of usage and then the amounts they usually pay, and then you can categorize them. Because I know that for some of the, how do you call them? The sports fraternities, like the tennis, they have some of these things. They reach out to you. There's an event, there's this, there's that. Are you interested? Can you come and register for a year to do this, to do that, take advantage of the facilities and everything? So I believe that will raise some monies. Here you are looking for monies to do a lot of things. And I think this morning I also saw one news item where the NSA, the National Sports Authority director says he will do everything possible to maintain the Azuma Nelson sports complex. So these are some of the ways you can raise money to help you do that. So I just want to find out if it's been done.
Honorable Chair, you are so right. And that is one of the assignments that we've set for ourselves, to make sure that we have this guest list, not just even for local. We are trying to go even beyond Ghana and to see other bigger events organizers who do events, to lobby them that our facility is also available, that they can come and have events here. Aside that, we are also working to capture data of funds so we can categorize them, because we've observed that fan bases are a major way of raising revenue for sporting-related activities and sports stadium maintenance-related actions. So we are interested in even going beyond this guest list to even fans, to capture their data so you can communicate with them. That we will not just treat fans like, okay, there's a game, you've bought a ticket, come and watch. We want to have a certain relationship with them, so they become part and parcel of the process. So the traffic that we've started generating doesn't go low. We want to maintain that interest. We want to link it up with other businesses that are around. And so we're working out something that when we come out with the details later, it will blow your mind, Madam Chair. Thank you.
When it comes to money, nothing blows my mind up. Because we need more money to develop, the sports industry. So we are with you in this, and we'll support you to make it happen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Honorable Kenny will take paragraph 20.
Honorable Minister, you were asked to negotiate a payment plan with the utility providers for the settlement of utility arrears to avoid disconnection. How far have you gone about that?
Well, we have implemented these also, and that's why at least we have had some stability of power for some time now.
Thank you.
That was short and sweet. That was good. Honorable Cletus, you do paragraph 21.
Thank you, Chairman. Minister, during the audit review, NSA had not initiated the completion of the hostel facilities, 44 rooms at Tamale and Takoradi Stadia. The Tamale and Takoradi sports stadia were undergoing major renovation, but there was no information on the scope of works to initiate that the hostel facilities would be completed.
So, Honorable Chairman, this whole Tamale Stadium massive renovation thing, about 2 months ago, a committee of parliament actually invited my ministry and to come along with the National Sports Authority on a supposed PPP arrangement for hostel facility at that stadium. However, our checks, we followed through, we asked everybody around and for all information. We did not really find any such arrangement. It is true that we have some lands there, and the intention is to be able to add hostel facilities to it, so that even when teams have to go and use the stadium for any activity, they will not be sleeping elsewhere, but they will just utilize the hostel facilities that are close to the stadium. So we will be going back into the drawing board and reassemble these and resubmit through the Ministry of Finance under the PPP arrangement. So we'll come very clear to be able to deal with these Babayara hostel activities.
Yes. Minister, if you look at page 39, you look at recommendation, status of implementation, you will see that partially implemented, not implemented, implemented, partially implemented, not implemented. You've read that very well. Can you speak to it? Yes.
I've indicated anywhere you see partially, meaning that we are aware of the issue, we have taken some steps, but we haven't concluded the process. That is why we indicate partial. But where we have done everything, you will see that it is implemented.
All right, Madam, conclude.
Okay, so Honorable Minister, thank you so much. The auditors are saying that out of the 15 recommendations, 5 have been fully implemented. 6 have not been implemented, but today you have given us adequate updates on how you're going to do that. And then 3 have also been partially implemented. Again, you have also told us. But we want to encourage you that, you know, Ghanaians love sports. They love their football. They love the other sports. So we want to encourage you to make sure sports really becomes a recreational activity. And it will also help prevent a lot of diseases and illness. So we're not just using it to, have fun, but also to prevent and also help us live long. Yes. So we want to support you. We'll support you in the fees and charges that you are bringing to Parliament. We'll support you with the other measures that you want to put in place to make sure you boost your revenues. And so our hands are open. Anytime you can call on us. And thank you very much for attending upon us and giving us very elaborate descriptions of what you are doing there and how you are hoping to fully implement all the 15 recommendations. And I'm not surprised that you used to be a member of this committee. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, we have 2 public interest questions, and OPK will start with it.
Thank you. Minister, so there are 2 issues. One has to do with some sporting facilities that were awarded during the the $1 million implementation program of the previous administration. Some sporting facilities, renovation and all of that were part of the projects. Now, it seems the money to renovate these projects were inadequate. And so contractors come to site, they are unable to do 10% of the project. And with the funding not coming, now nothing really is going on these sites. There has been instances where communities are willing to even develop those sporting facilities themselves. But because they are under contractual obligations, it becomes difficult for them to do that. What steps is your ministry taking to do that? You can tie that to Nkoko Sports Stadium. There's been a lot of talk about Nkoko Sports Stadium. We know that our colleague, Honorable Baine Champon, began renovating the Nkoko Sports, or constructing, it wasn't even renovating, constructing a new stadium. But along the line, the project stalled because of some disagreements with the National Sports Authority. Are you able to tell us what the current status is? And I want you to marry the 2 so that we get to understand the issues.
On the Nkoko Stadium, I will let the Director General deal with. But in the general answer to community participation in infrastructure development, let me use this great platform to appeal to community, corporates, both public and private, to actually come on board to partner government in executing some of these projects. If there's any community that is willing to support, whether financially or with labor or anything material, the ministry is prepared to have that engagement and to see how it can work within the existing contract, because we invite that seriously. And so I thank you for the question that you've asked in that.
Before the NSA boss comes in, so with this invitation, who do we go to? So for instance, Empriso Sports Stadium we want to develop, do we talk to the municipal chief executive, or do we go to the Ministry of Sports, or we get to the National Sports Authority?
I will advise initiate a conversation at the local level, and it will be transmitted to the appropriate points where there's a need to deal with any higher level beyond the local level. Because for every project that is in a district, the local government structure there is aware of it. Whether they are doing it or somebody else is doing it, they will have knowledge of it. So if you approach them, they will then relate to the appropriate agency. So the best place to go to is your district assembly to start the engagement from that level.
Honorable Member, sometime in September 2020, the then Minister for Youth and Sports cut sword for the reconstruction of the Nkoko Sports Stadium. The project was awarded to Fahadel Company Limited and was said to cost 27 million Ghana cedis. It was to be funded by the Middle Belt Development Authority. The project, however, stalled along the line, and per documents or reports presented to me, there was no specific reason given. Sometime in 2025, when we were appointed, it came to the attention of the NSA that Honorable Brian Achampong was developing the Nkoko Sports Stadium. So the NSA met with the Honorable Brian Achampong and requested for documentation that allowed him to do the work, since there was, no documentation. Since then, the NSA has met with the Omahene of Kwewu, and we've had discussions on the way forward. There is no conflict or crisis. It's about legality, it's about the law, and it's about having documentations that would safeguard Honorable Brian Achampong's work, or whoever wants to develop national assets. So hopefully we will hear from the Omahene and Mr. Brian Achampong, and we'll be able to have a discussion to further plans to develop the Nkoko Sports Stadium.
Thank you, Minister. And I think that in the spirit of what the Minister, the invitation that the Minister gave, that communities should get involved in developing, I know that he started a project. Due to one or two disagreements, the project stalled. I'm also aware that the seats for the stadiums that he imported from China are in town. And so please kindly get in touch, and let's ensure that we have the Nkoko, because our co-united cannot continue to be at the Division 2 and Division 1. We know that if anybody climbs that mountain, no matter what you do, you fall. So we need that stadium like yesterday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And also a big thank you to the Honorable Minister for the guidance in this issue. I think the media, a bit of mischief, social media, and I would like to commend the Omahene and also Honorable Brian Achampong for communicating, and I'm sure in due course they would update us so that work can begin again. Thank you.
All right, the next question is from Honorable Adam Agman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Minister, the deplorable condition of the whole sports stadium is of major concern to residents of the Volta region and beyond. I want to find out from you whether or not you are fully apprised with the state of the stadium and what concrete and immediate steps the ministry is taking to restore that critical sporting facility. Thank you.
So thank you. Two things are happening in the Volta region, specifically between Adaklu and then Hu. There is a youth resource center project in Adaklu near Hu that we want to make sure that it is also completed and put to good use. Again, the 8 stadia promised by His Excellency the President, 6 for the new regions, and then 2 more to be done for the old regions that really do not have what we can so properly called a stadium, Upper East and Volta region. Especially that, as we speak now, Volta region have 2 teams in the Premier League, the Bando House of Lions and Hohwe United. So the Volta region and Ho Stadium, for that matter, will benefit from these planned projects. So the Minister for Finance in his budget will be making some announcements, and we'll see what we can start with next year and what can be added in subsequent years. So we are very much aware. We have had a series of engagements. We've sent a number of persons to that facility to look at. The NSA has gone in there. The regional minister has extended invitation to NSA again, and we are very much aware. It all boils down to the resources, but there's a certain level of commitment to give all these regions their high-level stadia facilities. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just a follow-up, a quick follow-up, please. So, Honorable Minister, thank you for the answer. It gives hope that the ministry intends to do something about it. But just for the sake of clarity, if I listen to you carefully, it means we will be benefiting, or the region will benefit from a new stadium and not a renovation of the existing one. I just want that clarity for the sake of our engagement.
Whatever it is, the outcome is that we will have a stadium that will be far better than what it is that we have today. Whether it is the old one that will be put in good shape or it's a new one, we will have a stadium that is described as a stadium. That I can assure you.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. I will be following up to see the progress of work. Thank you.
Hold on. Honorable Minister, you and your team, you are discharged. Now
Thank you very much.
Let's call Minister of Lands, please.